Well, hello everybody. I hope I get a crowd in today because this is a
Now at
surprise
Whataburger,
live.
you can get the new Big Ranch Wrap for $3.
Once I turn the sound off, I always forget to do that. Now, yeah, I hope I get some people coming in here. This is a surprise live for the birthdays. I think it's Gladys Pellegrino's birthday today. So I wanted to wish her a happy birthday and everybody else that has a birthday this month or last month that I forgot. There's Kimberly. Hello, Kimberly. Glad you could make it. I hope Gladys is not sleeping. She, above everybody, I wanted in to chat today because it's her birthday today. How you doing, Kimberly? Yeah, your first one in. There's Joshua, Connie. Hello, everybody. You sent Gladys a video today. Well, good for you, Joshua. And there's Jana Jacob from Myrtle Beach. How's Jana doing? Gladys has got to come in today. And there's Linda 3853. Hello. It's been raining all morning. It started raining about 3 o'clock or so this morning. And it's been raining off and on ever since. And it's only like 53 degrees, which is chilly. I had to turn my heat on. I turned my AC off and turned my heat on today because it was chilly in here. Lucky don't want to stay outside. He went outside a couple of times this morning, but he wanted right back in because it's chilly out there and it's wet and rainy. So Jana said, I'm just letting myself relax. Well, good for you, Jana. Yeah, she's being, I mean, I'm not talking against homeless people. I know there's generally, for sure, true homeless people. But I found out many years ago, and I still see it today, a lot of these homeless people are not homeless because they don't want to be. They choose to be because they make more money being homeless than we do living in a house and working every day. And I've seen them. I've seen them stand up, and we don't have homeless here in Granbury. They don't allow it. They don't allow people sitting on the corner with a cup in their hand for handouts. They don't allow them in front of businesses. Now you'll see them once in a while until they're found out, and then they're asked to move on because we don't have that here in this area. You will not see homeless people. Our county does not allow it here because they know there is a lot of people out there that claim to be homeless that are that way because they choose to be. They get a Social Security check every month. They probably get food stamps, and they live on the street because they get handouts. They get free money that way. And again, they choose to be that way because they don't want the responsibility of paying rent or paying a mortgage payment every month. They don't want utilities to pay every month and that type of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people out there that are more able-bodied than I am. I was on disability years ago, and I got off of it because I live alone. I can't live on a Social Security check alone, a disability check. So I went back to work. I did any kind of job I could work at with my disability. And I've managed, for many, many years, I've been off. I don't have disability anymore. I don't have food stamps. Everything I get, I pay for myself. I pay my own bills. I do get a retirement check through Social Security, but it's not disability. I have to pay for my own medical insurance. and everything else. Homeless people are able-bodied and stand with a sign, I can't stand up. Exactly. And just like they were caught years ago, somebody wised up and started watching these homeless, and they'd stand at the intersections on interstate highways, even at the edge of the cities, with homeless, need help, we'll take anything, food, money, whatever you want to hand them. And you know what? Somebody got wise. They watched them until they left that spot in the afternoon or evening, whenever they called it their work day was over. They followed them like 2 blocks away, and they got in a brand new van and drove off. And how do you think they were making the payments on that van? By the handouts they were getting as a homeless person. And they probably drove home to their nice home too. So I don't fall for it. I really don't. Our law enforcement don't allow it. If they find them, they tell them to move on. If they don't, they'll be arrested for vagrancy or whatever they call it. It's very seldom you'll see someone standing in front of a business or on the street corner or anywhere with a sign saying they're homeless or they need help, because like I said, our county does not allow it. They've figured it out a long time ago that a lot of these homeless and poor people are not exactly what they claim to be. They just found out they can get money easier by standing on the corner or the side of the road or in front of a business and get handouts a lot easier than they can get money by going to work. Well, that's a shame, Kimberly, because if you and your son both are on a disability check, you should be getting a disability food stamp help. I can't. Have you ever applied for it? You need to maybe go ahead and apply for the food stamps and get a little bit more help. And I'm glad. I'm so glad Gladys made it, because it's her birthday today. And I wanted everybody to wish Gladys a happy birthday. And everybody else whose birthday is this month or last month, please wish them a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Gladys. And I can't even say it without coughing. Who do you see it in, Gladys? Yeah, happy birthday, Gladys. She's been a subscriber of mine for quite a while. So I said I at least owe her a happy birthday recognition by doing a live. And like I said, anybody else that's birthday is this month or last month. We got Bloomin' in the house. Hello, Bloomin'. And got Tamara Douglas. How's Bloomin' doing? Good to see you too, Bloomin'. Yeah, they don't allow it here either, Kimberly, because they know, they've learned a long time ago that a lot of those people are just as able to work as anybody else. They choose not to. And, on the other hand, I know there are some real homeless people out there, and they need help. They don't need to be living on the street. They don't need to be on the street corner wanting handouts. They need to get into the right locations and get government help is what they need. Because there's offices like the food, what is it? Humane Society. I'm trying to think of the government office that's in your county. We've got one here in town where you apply for food stamps, you apply for government assistance. They qualify for all that if they're really homeless. And if they're really disabled, they qualify for all that help. All they got to do is go in and ask for it. But like I said, a lot of them don't want to because they'd rather not have the responsibility of paying rent every month or a mortgage payment or a car payment or, any of that stuff. DHS. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of offices. I just don't know about all of them because, up till the year I was diagnosed with cancer, which I didn't have, thank goodness, I didn't know anything about the food stamps and all this government assistance. My doctor hooked me up with all that back then. And like I said, I've been on it, off of it for many, many years now. Everything I get, my bills are paid by me. My food's paid for by me. Everything is paid for by me. I don't get any assistance. That's one reason I went to YouTube, to get my assistance through YouTube. It's more fun having subscribers come into your chats and let businesses advertise on your videos or your live chats and make your money that way than it is to get out on the street corner and beg for money. Or I think so. And I was told one time that the homeless don't have any way to look at YouTube. Oh, yes, they do. I've seen it. There was several people that I saw that tried to stand on the street corners or get on in front of Walmart's super center, and they sat there with a sign, "Homeless, need help." And I just was out there looking at plants and stuff because, they line the sidewalks with plants. And I walked down toward the garden center on the outside, looked, didn't see anything I wanted, so I walked back the opposite direction to go to the food center, and I passed by this homeless guy claiming to be homeless twice. The second time I come by, he had his cell phone out chatting with somebody on his cell phone. So don't tell me they don't have cell phones. A lot of them do. They have cell phones, they have food stamps, they got Social Security and disability checks coming in, a lot of them. So they're not as bad off as you think. They choose to look like they are. Joshua, I see you everywhere I go on your YouTube. You remember my first video, Lady in the Garden? Well, that was a ways back, going on what is it, about 4 years now? 3 or 4. I mean, like I said, there are really homeless people out there. There are really people that could use help. But you can't trust what you see standing on a street corner, on a sidewalk, with a sign. Because a lot of times it's not what you think. Like I say, that homeless person may leave at the end of their day collecting money that's given to them and go get in a brand new vehicle and drive off. So how homeless do you think they are? They look homeless. They look shabby. They have all the signs of being homeless. But when they leave, when they're done collecting what they're going to collect for the day, they walk off a block or two and get in a brand new vehicle and drive home. That's why I don't do handouts, I mean, if I see somebody and I think in my heart they're a true homeless person or they need help and I've got $5 to give them, I'll give it to them. But I don't do that very often because I don't trust what I see. No, I'm not. I don't have the money to build a new house. I bought 3 lots here many years ago when my kids were still living at home to do exactly that. And I've never been able financially to build a new house. So that's why I'm still living in my mobile home. Just like a lot of these organizations that come on with advertisements, give to such and such, uh, give to Africa, give to Asia, give to whatever. I don't give to any of those because I found out a lot of times the people that are behind all that, most of that money goes in their pocket. Very little goes to where they say it's going. And I'm not feeding their pockets. I'm sorry. I need the money as bad as they do. It is behind me. I've got lots behind me that face the opposite street. And right now I've got 2 new homes built back there. One is beside my lot. One is directly behind one of my lots, and we've got a privacy fence up between us. But you can see the top of the house in a lot of my videos. I've got a new house that's built across the street from me. And I've got a house built beside my lot over here, my empty lot that's got trees on it. I've got a new house built there. And they're building houses all around me in this subdivision like crazy. Somebody told me one time, well, how are you going to feel when everybody around you's in a brand new house and you're still in your mobile home? I said, I'm going to feel perfectly fine. Because there's about 3 or 4,000 people that live out here, and about 85% of them or 90% of them live in mobile homes that aren't going anywhere. So you were just videoing them to put on your channel. Got it. Hey, yeah, I was letting everybody see what's going on behind my house. The young couple that bought this house across the street from me originally had to move because of their husband's job. And they had some bad experience with renters that were in that house for the last year. So the renters have left. They're in a place over in Joshua in a brand new apartment complex that has swimming pools and all that, the amenities to go with it. And they put the house up for sale. It's been up for sale for a week or two now. Yeah, mine is a 50-some-year-old mobile home, but it's been, I've lived in it. I moved in it when it was about 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old. So I've maintained it real well, and I've done, upkeeps to it that needed to be done. Like, I've put in a kitchen sink, I put in a new stove. That old-timey looking backsplash behind my stove is not what was here originally. It was wood paneling behind there. And I put those aluminum squares, the old-timey squares that most of the time you saw in the ceiling in a lot of old buildings. I put those smaller squares behind there and made that backsplash myself. Yeah, I put a new floor. Actually, I've got it in 2 bedrooms that's finished, unless I decide I want to put carpet or something over it, which I don't think I will. But the living room and the kitchen needs a second floor. The original floor was ripped out, a new floor was put in, but now I need a second floor, the final floor on top of it. And if I do that, then my floor is not going to creak and squeak like it does when I'm doing my cooking videos. But I can't help it right now. I can't afford to pay someone to come in and do that, and I can't do it by myself. I mean, people don't realize putting the floor down is a lot of work, especially if you got back and neck injuries. And I've already injured myself again to where I've been suffering every day with my shoulder and my arm up here hurting. I've been fighting going to the doctor with it because I don't know what they can do. That's the reason I chose to do it myself. I said, I know what to do. I know how to do it. It's just handling that 3/4 inch plywood that bothers me because it's heavy. And I'm not supposed to be lifting heavy items. And I did it anyway. Now, the living room and kitchen was done by some guys that moved in a double wide down the street. And they were redoing the inside and the floor. So I asked them to come do my kitchen and living room. But they did rip out the old floor, which I didn't want it done. And then they put the new floor in, but it's just the subfloor. And that's why it squeaks. And I went ahead and put linoleum down on it because I can't afford to put the second floor in right now, and I can't do it myself. I put off doing it myself because to put it in, I've got to move the stove so the floor can go under the stove. I've got to move this heavy old refrigerator that I can't move. It's too heavy to put the new floor under that. And this old refrigerator is one of the older ones. It's an ancient refrigerator, so it's heavier than all get out. I can't move it. You can't even slide it out in the floor to get behind it. That's how heavy it is. And it's not on wheels. It's not like a lot of these new refrigerators that they put wheels on and you can just push them anywhere you want, pull them out, push them back in, whatever. You can't do that to this one behind me. It's working, Gladys. My shoulder's been feeling a lot better. It's been getting better and better every day. So I've been putting Vicks on it several times a day, and especially when I go to bed at night. But then when I start using my arm, if I put any strain on my arm at all, it starts hurting again. So I'm trying not to use my right arm and hand any more than I have to, and just see how better I can get it before I decide just give in and go to the doctor. Yeah, they don't make homes like they used to, Edith. Everything is plastic or flimsy. I knew a couple that lived in the next subdivision over from me. They bought a new double wide manufactured home. And they said it was real pretty when they got it. But they said it wasn't no time at all before everything started coming apart. The cabinets started coming apart. Everything was just so cheap. Yeah, I took one ibuprofen last night. I had to quit taking ibuprofen. I was taking it too much every day, and it had a bad reaction on me, so I had to stop taking it. Don't wait too long. Well, I'm afraid of what he's going to do. I don't know what, the only doctor I've got now to go to is my primary care doctor. My chiropractor is not here anymore that treated me with my injuries, or I'd be going to him. He just all of a sudden, for personal reasons, he went through a divorce. His wife was trying to just clean him out, took over half his business. So he just closed everything down and moved out of town. And then by the time I found out where he was, I heard that he had a heart attack and died. And he was probably just barely in his early 40s. He was not an old man. So I lost my chiropractor. And I haven't been to another one since. My dentist retired, so I don't have my dentist anymore, and I don't know who to go to. And every chiropractor's office that I've called or checked on, they want you to join a membership where you pay a membership to their office per month to be a patient. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not paying a membership to go to the chiropractor. Oh, wow. Your family mattress was passed down from my grandma when I was a child. Couldn't do that anymore. Well, I'm sure that mattress was getting pretty old. Oh, yeah. It's raining today. That's one reason my allergies are not bad. And I haven't been out in the yard digging in the dirt, so. But yeah, I knew it was Gladys's birthday today. She's been a faithful subscriber for many years. So I just had to go live and wish Gladys a happy birthday today and everybody else who's got a birthday this month or last month or whenever. I used to go live once a month just for this reason, to wish everybody a happy birthday, but I haven't done that in a while. Well, if it was passed down by her grandmother, yeah, it's been well used, hasn't it? Must be a real good mattress. But I'll tell you what, a lot of the older stuff is made a lot better than the new. I don't like these new mattresses, or I might buy me a new one. But I've gotten used to sleeping on my firm mattress. It's real good for my back. And I thought several times of downsizing my bed so I'd have a little bit more room in my bedroom because I've got a queen size bed in there. And I said I had thought about it, kind of, about getting a smaller size bed, maybe a twin bed or a full size. Not a twin, a full size bed. But then I got to looking at mattresses, and they've all got this memory foam crap on them. I don't want one of those. I can't sleep on memory foam. My doctor warned me years ago, with your back and neck injury, your spine, you cannot sleep on a waterbed. You cannot sleep on memory foam mattresses because they will cause problems. And just about every place you go now, and you look at mattresses, they got memory foam tops to them. And a friend of mine said she bought one and it was so comfortable for a long time. But she said it starts breaking down and it'll finally just leave your imprint in the mattress. And you can't just take off the memory foam and replace it. You got to replace the whole mattress and it's too expensive. Yeah, I've never even tried to sleep on a water bed. I don't think I could handle that. Your son had one that came in the mail in a box and it blew up and made a very nice twin size bed. Was that a memory foam or what was it, Kimberly? Oh wow, it was passed down to your mom and you made fellow feather pillows with it. Wow. Yeah, most places you don't get feather pillows anymore. They're memory foam and all kind of other foam. Washable foam you can throw in your washing machine. I've been thinking about cookies, Gladys. I haven't baked any yet. I got to get busy, don't I? 25-foot tall float. I don't know if I could handle that height. I don't even like getting up as high as my house. And I don't think that's 25 feet. I know I ordered, it wasn't memory foam, it was a like similar to that, but more firm. I ordered that to go in the platform I built for the back of my car for when I was traveling. If I wanted to lay down and relax, just pulling over to a truck stop, I could. And it was just wound so tight and vacuum sealed. When I got it, I thought to myself, that can't be what I ordered. It was 4 inches thick. And this little thing was that big around, like that. Well, I cut that plastic off of it and it just boom. It just blew up. I can't roll it up like that now. Because it's 4 inches thick, 2.5 inches wide, and 6 foot long. But I haven't used it in my car in a long time. I don't go on that many long distance trips. I only used it basically when I drove to North Carolina and back. Because I don't like to drive and fall asleep at the wheel and then have to drive hoping you don't fall asleep to find a motel room. So I just like to be able to pull over at those rest areas where they have the bathrooms and the truckers pull over to get a few hours sleep. I like pulling over at those, and with that little mattress in the back of my car on my platform, I could get back there and lay down and take a nap or sleep all night if I wanted to. Oh no, you come to find out you were served a vegetarian tomato soup. I was not pleased. Oh, probably don't like it. I love tomato soup, but some of the tomato vegetarian soups I don't like. It just depends on what brand it is or if I make it myself. If I make it myself, I love it. Bloomin', how many followers, subscribers do you have to your channel now? I see you pop up every once in a while playing the piano and singing. I guess she's still here. Yeah, I don't like heights. I don't like heights. And in fact, years ago when I put the re-roofed on my old shed, I put the tin panels up there, the steel panels, whatever you call them. I asked my son to do it because I don't like heights. I said the last time I got up on the roof, the wind blew real hard, just a gust of wind, and it blew my aluminum ladder down, and I didn't have any way off the roof. And there was nobody close enough that I could even call, scream to holler for to get my ladder back up so I could get down. So I had to drop off the side of the house. And I told my son, I don't want to get up on that roof anymore, especially here by myself, because my ladder might fall. So he come and he put the roof on it. He put the panels on it for me. I said, I can do the rest myself. And I did. I put the panels up around the outside of it, which before it was all wood. Now it's the metal panels on the outside. And I put a new door on myself, which I didn't think I could do all that, but I got it done, y'all. You don't know that you can do something until you try. She plays piano and she sings, Gladys, on her channel. She's got a channel. Yeah, I'm just lucky my roof is not that tall. By the time I dropped off the edge of the house and was holding on to the corner of the house at the top, my feet were probably only 3 or 4 feet off the ground. So by the time I dropped like that, I didn't have that much longer to fall. So that's the only reason I did it. Plus, that was the only way I had to get down. But yeah, I still could have landed wrong on my foot or my ankles or something and broke something, but I didn't. I was fortunate. Well, I just had an advertisement pop up. It said, "Did you know now at Whataburger you can get the new Big Ranch wrap for $3?" I've tried Whataburger a few times. I don't like their burgers. When I've gotten them, they're just too dry. I didn't care for them at all, so I don't go to Whataburger. I like McDonald's and Burger King, and now they're closed down on this side of town. I hope it's going to be really soon that they reopen. They get that construction work done on the widening of the highway there. But I've got so many other places to go. I've got Wendy's. I've got Slosky's. Trying to think of that other sandwich place that was across the street from McDonald's and Burger King, and I can't remember it to save my life. Yeah, there's so many places in this town you can go to get something. Fast food, through a drive-through. Edith says, I don't agree with the lifestyle. I always eat meat. I don't want vegetarian, French fries, or tomato soup. I love tomato soup. I love French fries. I love vegetables, but I love my meat too. And I've always been told that the people were old enough to eat cornbread without getting choked on it. That's what I was told years and years ago back home when you ask people how old they are. Old enough to eat cornbread without getting choked on it. I love a real good tomato soup with a peanut butter sandwich. Oh my God, I ate that growing up as a kid, and I love tomato soup with peanut butter sandwiches. Some people eat it with grilled cheese, but my mom always gave us a peanut butter sandwich with a bowl of hot tomato soup. It was always Campbell's tomato soup. To me, that was the best soup in the world. I love tomato soup. Yeah, since I was told that some people like the cheese sandwich or the grilled cheese, I think the last time I ate a bowl of tomato soup, I fixed a grilled cheese, and it was pretty good. Yeah, I like plain tomato soup. I don't want anything else in it. I don't want any other vegetables in my tomato soup. I want plain tomato soup. And either a grilled cheese or a peanut butter sandwich to eat with it. Yeah, it brings back memories. I remember when I was in school in New York, it was about 4 blocks to where my school was, and my brothers went to a different school. I think they went for the older grades, and I went to the younger. And my mom was working at that time, so it was an hour or so before she'd be home when we'd get home from school. So we'd go to my friends that lived in the same apartment building we lived in. My friend Teresa Stagliano, I'll never forget her. I've lost contact with her, but I stayed in contact with her for many, many years, even after I got married and didn't live in New York anymore. And I went to visit her one time when I went up to visit my grandmother when she was still alive. I got her address from her. We stayed in contact. And my mom and I and my daughter, Margaret, when she was only like 3 or 4 years old, went to see my friend Teresa and her family. And that was really nice. But after that, I've lost track from her. I don't know where she is, if she's still alive, how she is, or nothing. And I wished I'd have somehow been able to stay in contact with her. But yeah, my mom would still be at work when we'd get home from school. So she'd always tell us to go to Teresa's house. And her mom, Molly, would take care of us, to watch after us until my mom got home. And I remember every afternoon when we got in from school, we'd go in her house, in her apartment, and she'd always have she'd always have a weak cup of coffee, because she wouldn't let us drink real strong coffee. I think it was mostly milk, but it was coffee. And she'd have Italian bread, and she'd cut us slices of that Italian bread, and we'd sit down at the kitchen table, and we'd dip our bread in our coffee and eat it. And to us, that was the best stuff. I mean, you couldn't have given us a bar of candy that was any better than that coffee and Italian bread. I remember it to this day, dipping that bread in the coffee. It was so good. Have you checked Facebook? I don't know who you're saying. Who needs to check Facebook for what? Yeah, I went to school in New York until the 3rd grade. I had finished my 3rd grade year whenever my dad decided he couldn't handle New York City anymore. And he just come home one weekend and said, we're moving. I'm not living in this city anymore. And he brought U-Haul truck, a trailer, and he packed up stuff. And I remember we still left furniture in that apartment because we didn't have anywhere to put it to bring it. We brought the bare necessities. And my dad had already started building a house in North Carolina. Wasn't finished. But we left that weekend, headed to North Carolina. And my mom and dad lived in North Carolina after that until they passed away. And I lived there until I moved to Texas many years ago. They lived in the house my dad was building when they moved. And there are so many stories behind that house. It almost reminds me of living off grid. You see a lot of these videos where people are camping out and trying to build their house while they're camping, and all this stuff with no running water and no bathrooms and no showers. Well, that's kind of the way it was when we first moved in the house Dad was building. There was no partition walls up to divide the bedrooms from the bathroom or from the living room and the kitchen. It was just all open area. He did put running water in though, and we had a wood stove. He put wood stoves in the living room, and he put one in my bedroom, a little one, because my bedroom was right there where the chimney was. So you can have the chimney opening into my bedroom and the living room at the same time with the wall in between. And they did put a wall up between there, but then they hung sheets and stuff for partitions through the rest of the house to divide the other bedrooms and bathroom and stuff like that until my dad could get it finished out. And so I remember my dad would get up, and it would wake me up in the morning. I'd hear him putting wood in my little wood heater at the foot of my bed. And it wasn't 5 minutes before that bedroom was just as toasty warm as you could want. The living room the same way. He'd build a fire in both of them, and it heated the whole house. Of course, they don't have those in there now. They put in, I don't know if it was gas or what it was, propane, kerosene or something. They upgraded the kerosene heater the second time, but then they didn't like the smell of the kerosene, so they put in something else. Well, I've lived in both, Bloomin'. I've lived in New York City and I've lived in North Carolina, but I could understand my dad. He was raised out in the country on a farm. That was his parents' life. They lived off their farm. It supplied everything they needed except their coffee and sugar. I had told the story many times how they butchered their own hogs, smoked their own bacon, cured their own hams in their smokehouse they had. They had a corn crib where they stored corn for the winter that they'd either feed some of the animals with or they'd turn into cornmeal. Well, I'll take that back. My grandmother did buy flour, coffee, and sugar from the store. Mostly everything else came from the farm. They had a milk cow that served them their milk, their butter. The hogs made lard for their biscuits, for their frying, for, whatever they needed lard for. My grandmother used to have 5-gallon stands of lard where they stored them from, butchering the hogs once a year. They made their sausage. Oh, that was the best sausage. I wish I had some of that right now. Yeah, country people worked hard for what they had. And they had really a better lifestyle because all of their food didn't have all the preservatives and all this stuff that's put in food today. Theirs was true, honest, natural food. It either came from the garden or it came from the hog lot or the cow pasture. She had her own chickens. So if my grandma wanted a fried chicken on a Sunday dinner, she went out in the yard and grabbed her a chicken. I've seen her do it many Sundays that I was at her house. She'd want to fix fried chicken for lunch on Sunday. She'd go out in the yard, grab a chicken, wring its neck, put it in scalding water, and I'd help her pull the feathers. I've seen her do that more than one time. She had her own fresh eggs from the chickens. I mean, that woman, she had rabbits, she had birds, pigeons, turkeys, all kind of animals around the house and the farm. And her chickens were never cooped in. They were free-range chickens. And they didn't go off. They stayed right around. They knew where their food was. I mean, she fed them corn and stuff occasionally, or maybe like once a day, but they free-range. They got out and ate their bugs or whatever chickens eat when they're out in the wild. And there is Olga Lopez from Central Texas. Welcome to our chat. Yeah, I didn't think I could ever do that either. I've never tried. I don't want to try it. I'm afraid if I ever did that, I would not be able to eat the chicken. But I guess, when you grow up in that lifestyle, I'm sure her parents did the same. And she grew up doing that. So it's no more for her to go out there and grab a chicken and wring its neck, pluck its feathers, and clean it out to where she can fry it, than it is for me to go fishing and gut out a fish. It's whatever you get used to. Well, I first didn't think I'd be able to gut my own fish either. I said, oh my God, if I have to scale and gut my fish and clean them to cook them, I will never eat them. But you know what? I ate my fish. If I go fishing now and I catch something, I clean it myself. And I cook it and I eat it. Yeah, those feathers smelled awful. That's one thing I never liked. I didn't like the smell of the feathers. When they're scalded, they have a terrible smell. No, they can't. Kids grow up nowadays either watching TV, they're on their phones watching videos, or something like that. They're not out doing what we did as I grew up. Now, we moved to North Carolina again. It was when I was only like 8 or 9 years old when we moved back for good. And in the summertime, me and my brothers would work in the fields. We'd work in cornfields, tobacco fields, strawberries, blueberries, gladiola farms, and help them gather all that stuff. And the thing about the blueberries and the strawberries, I ate my full of them. I'd pick some, put them in the bucket, and I'd eat some. Kids nowadays don't have the opportunity to do that. I remember we'd work in the summer and we'd try to save all the money we could. So when we went back to school, we'd have money to buy school clothes and shoes. I remember one year that I went to my aunt's in New York to help her take care of her baby, her newborn, because that was when I was 13. Of course, I wasn't home to be working out in the field like I did every summer to make my money for my school clothes and my shoes. And my mom thought that they were going to pay me what time I was up there, so I'd still have money for that. But unfortunately, they didn't. They felt like the plane fare, my room and board, was my payment. So I didn't have any money saved up to buy my school clothes that year. So guess what? I did without a lot of stuff. And I know airplane fare was not that cheap. I did eat food when I was there, I did sleep in a bed when I was there. Oh no. Well, I pulled some kind of vine up on my vacant lot over here. I've got to get a cough drop, y'all. And I got hold of a poison ivy. And I didn't realize what it was till like the day after. And I was broke out all over in this red rash. My face, my arms, my legs. And that was about 3 or 4 weeks after my son said that he got into poison ivy where he lives. He was cutting all these vines down along his fence line because they were all over the fence and everywhere else. And he was cutting them all down. He got rid of them, but he broke out in poison ivy too, worse than what I had. And then I had poison ivy come up at these 2 stumps. The trees that were cut and the tall stumps were left over here at the side of the house. I had a vine coming up from that and I pulled it off. And it was poison ivy coming up from the bottom of the tree stump. But I got some of the stuff that kills poison ivy and it won't let it come back again. I sprayed it good out there with that, so I haven't been bothered with poison ivy since. I bought the blackberry bush and I bought the raspberry bush when I bought my 2 grapevines. My raspberry and blackberry bush never has put out a leaf one. I think they're just completely dead. And by the time you realize they're not going to grow, your 30 days is up, so you can't take them back to the store. Because, they only give you 30 days, so what good is it if you got to wait 30 days to see if they're going to live or not? Well, my elderberry bush, I think it's going to put out quite a few berries this year because I moved it to the other side of the yard and I've got the discs at it and I put a wind chime up above it. to where it'll help keep the birds from eating the berries before they have a chance to turn into berries. So I think I might try to make elderberry jam or something with the berries this year if I get him. I haven't gotten but a handful of strawberries every time I go out and check my strawberries because I eat them. I go out there and I see a ripe one, I'll start eating them. So I haven't been able to get a whole lot of strawberries at one time yet. Yeah, I was counting on those raspberry and the blackberry bush living, and putting me out some berries this year, but it didn't do it. I know I love blackberries and raspberries, and I was counting on those two plants, but they haven't done a thing. So I guess I'll have to wait till next time and try again. Yeah, I got two raised beds of strawberries out there that I planted last year. And there's Tamara Angling. Hello, Tamara. This was a surprise to wish Gladys a happy birthday. And all the other people that have birthdays. They're doing pretty good. I mean, I uncovered them to where they'd start growing and they'd get sun. And like I said, though, as soon as they put out a ripe strawberry, I'm eating it. So I haven't gotten a whole lot at one time. I covered them last year with the greenhouse covers that go over those little raised beds. And that kept the plants alive all winter. They never went dormant at all. I still put shade cloth on them in the hottest time of the summer. I did last year. And I've got it opened up right now because it hasn't been that hot. But later on in the heat of the summer, when that sun gets so intense, I'll drop the shade cloth over them so the plants don't burn up. Yep, they are. Anything you grow fresh is better, seems like. Yeah, this my greenhouse cover, I guess that's what you're talking about. You said hothouse. I replaced it and I got the green mesh one. I don't know what they call it. It's the one with the grid in it, but it's solid plastic, but it's a real pale green. That one has lasted longer than those clear ones do. And it's a lot better because it blocks out a lot of that really hot sun. And I've got it full of trays of seeds out there right now. They're coming up out of the soil. I'm going to have to do some transplanting pretty soon. Oh, really? You had thornless dewberry? Well, I bought what I thought it was supposed to be a blackberry bush. When I got that elderberry, the tag said blackberry bush. I bought it, brought it home, planted it. It's lived ever since. And last year was the first year it put out any berries, but they were not blackberries. And I looked it up in the plant identifier, and it says it's an elderberry bush. So I moved it out to the other side of the yard where it gets a little bit more sun. And it's been growing like crazy out there. And it should be starting to put out some berries pretty soon. Well, ibuprofen or any of that stuff is not good to take large quantities of it for very long. because it has a lot of bad effects on your body. And some people will have different effects than other people. So I had to quit taking ibuprofen. I did take one ibuprofen last night, but that's the first one I've taken in probably a couple of months. I've taken Motrin, one of those just once in a while, but not every day. But before, when I was doing so much work in the garden to kill the pain in my back and neck, I was taking 4 of those a day. I mean, at one time I took 4 200 milligram ibuprofens. And then I got to taking them twice a day. And it was way too much, y'all. I didn't like the effects I was getting from them. I don't usually take aspirin. I mean, I could years ago, but I don't take aspirin. I started taking Advil years ago because the doctor recommended that I take that. My chiropractor did, for inflammation in where I had my injuries in my neck and my lower back. He said that was the best thing to take for the inflammation in your back and neck. But I didn't take that every day or all the time. I take a baby aspirin every day. Well, not a baby aspirin. It's the low dose bear aspirin. Yeah, I'd love to get back into doing my singing videos, but you can see I start talking very much, I'm going into a coughing fit. And I do the same if I try to sing, so haven't been doing that. I haven't even been practicing lately. Yeah, it's not good to take a lot of that painkillers and stuff. Oh no. Advil and ibuprofen had you running into the door facings? That doesn't sound good at all. And there's Frida Cassidy. Hello, Frida. How's Frida doing today? I gave this surprise live to wish Gladys a happy birthday, and everybody else that has a birthday this month or last month, to wish everybody a happy birthday. I do too, Joshua. I'd love to get rid of this cough. Low dose aspirin and baby aspirin are the dosage. You think it's the same thing? Same dosage. I never knew that, but I never checked it. I never even thought about it. $81 milligram. Huh. That's good to know. It's been many years since I've bought baby aspirins. My kids have not been babies for many, many years. Have some birthday cake today. Yummy. I was going to ask you, did your boys get you a birthday cake today, Gladys? I'm going to pray that me and Linda decide to go to the doctor. They got strong cough syrup. And pizza will be good tomorrow. Oh, so y'all going to have your cake and your pizza tomorrow? Yeah, I'm glad you at least had a birthday cake, though. As long as the cake's not vegetarian. I wouldn't want a vegetarian cake either, Edith. Oh, Bloomin', did you see the video that I did where I showed the Rosa Sharon? That thing is growing like crazy this year. Since I moved it and put it close to the house. I moved it up in the rock garden close to the house, in between some rose bushes. Oh my God, it's going to be pretty this year. It's growing like crazy. It didn't like being in that pot. It was too little, and it got too much sun all afternoon. It likes it where it's at now. And I've still got the hostas too, the Big Daddy hostas. I've got 2 of those that survived, and they're in a big pot. And I've got them on this side of the house under a shade tree. I can't find a place in the yard that I can make a hole to put them in the partial shade to actually put them in the ground. Nobody thinks you're mean or bossy, Kimberly. No, you had it today. I'll be good tomorrow. Well, yeah, but you can have your cake today and you can have your cake tomorrow too, Gladys. You don't have to be good. Well, mine die back in the wintertime. But then I'm telling you, as soon as the weather starts warming up, they just pop out of the pot like crazy. So it might be just the kind of weather we have here in Texas. I don't know. Yeah, we all know Gladys wants her cake and eat it too. But I think they do die down. They go dormant through a couple of months in the wintertime. Or that's the way mine did. But then in the springtime, they pop back up. As soon as the weather starts warming up, they pop back out of the dirt. And they're really growing good this year since I moved them. I hope I found a good spot for them. Oh no, Tamara. Snow again? It's been raining here all off and on all day, and it's only 56 degrees right now. That's the warmest it's been all day. And I had to turn my heat back on, but we're not going to get down to freezing. And we're definitely not going to get any snow. Where is it again you live, Tamara Ainley? I keep forgetting where everybody lives. I know Gladys is in Connecticut. I can't remember where everybody lives. Iowa. I was going to say Idaho, but no, it's Iowa. Well, you can keep that freezing cold weather up there in Iowa. I don't want it down here in Texas. Oh, wow. In West Virginia, it's supposed to get down to 32 degrees Monday night. Well, it's not going to be anywhere close to freezing here. Yeah, we've had a bunch of tornadoes whipping up. Not any real close, though. Oh, no, you had tornado warnings the last 3 days. That doesn't sound good. We get our share of tornadoes that come through this area, but not as many as they get in other places close to us. You're going to be 41 degrees Monday night in western Kentucky. Kimberly says, don't send any cold weather or ice to her. We was dodging tornado. I know they've had a lot of tornadoes up north of us around Oklahoma and other areas. We haven't had quite too many down here yet. But it's early in the season, too. We've had them come through here and almost wipe out total communities before. I've had them come through my yard. That's why I got tree stumps out here. It didn't do much damage, but it did whip off a couple of my tree limbs, and it didn't completely take them off the tree. It just laid them down. So it was still connected to the tree, and the limb was laying down to the ground. So my neighbor came over and cut the limbs out, him and his son. Yeah, I guess you would say I'm in tornado alley like a lot of other people. I've seen a lot of the destruction from the tornadoes around me, but the tree is the only thing I saw that it did anything here that one time. Thank goodness. And Stevie Rock is in the house. Hello, Stevie. What are you up to this afternoon? Well, I did this live as a surprise to wish Gladys a happy birthday and to wish happy birthday to everybody else that had a birthday this month or last month. That's what the live is all about. Caught y'all. Yep, you caught us. Yeah, that's me. I'm home enjoying my Saturday. It's raining. Been rainy off and on all day. It's only like 56 degrees, the warmest it's been all day. And it's not getting any warmer. But the cool break it's good, you know. And Lucky doesn't care to be outside too long. He's in the house sleeping right now. It's cool and it's wet outside. He'd rather be inside. You're in a tornado season indeed, Stevie. Little buddy disappeared. It's a long story. He's been gone for about 2 months now. And little Lucky like to went crazy after he disappeared because he was missing Lucky. He was his buddy. Wherever little buddy went, Lucky was. And then all of a sudden, little buddy was gone. Yeah, Lucky's lucky. Yep. But the neighbors are gone too, so that's good. I don't even know. I had leftover pork cutlet for my lunch today. I heated it up. I haven't even thought about dinner tonight. Yep. I'm afraid I think they did, Bloomin'. Otherwise, he would have come home. Unless they would have had to take him off so far, there's no way he would have been able to get home, or they did away with him. And I think it was the latter. And it's such a shame because he was such a nice cat. Probably because they know I took Lucky to the vet and got him shots and stuff, so they're afraid he's got a chip and he'd be able to be tracked down. Like I said, Bloomin', it's a long story. Glad you did, Uncle Munson. I've got to where if somebody leaves a critical, bad comment to my videos and I read it, I'm going to answer them the same way. Because they don't have any right to criticize what I do or say in my videos. Because they don't know what's going on. Especially the one talking about the homeless. That I needed to cook a meal and take it to the homeless. There's no homeless here to take it to. I promise you. We don't allow it to go on here. They can't pitch tents. They can't live in boxes around this area. They have to go to Fort Worth or some other big city close by. They're not allowed at all here. Yeah, that would have been nice to think that, Tamara. If they don't like what goes on in my videos, they don't have to watch. Plain and simple. I'm not twisting their arm to watch my video. I mean, I like for people to watch my videos. That's the whole purpose of publishing them, but nobody's forcing them to. If they don't agree with what I say or do, then go watch something else. But they plainly told me in the comment, poor homeless people don't have cell phones. How are they going to watch YouTube videos to see your video to even know what you're fixing? Well, excuse me. A lot of homeless people out there have cell phones. I bid your pardon. I've seen them with cell phones. I've seen them use them. They have a lot more than what it appears. I guarantee you. I was watching a little bit of Billy Jean's live last night, and he was telling everybody that he wanted to let them know that Walmart has the glass measuring cups on sale right now. And I looked on the website, and they do. You can get the 1 cup for like $2 something. You can get a 2 cup for like $3.50, something like that. There's 3 different sizes I think you can get that's on sale if you buy them separately. He was wanting to let everybody know so while they were still available. Partly, but it had to do with other neighbors too that knew them. Yeah, if I knew there was a true homeless person that lived anywhere around me, which I know they don't, when I do my cooking videos and I have all this extra food, I'd gladly feed them with it. We don't have any here. And thank God we don't. There's no place for them in our town to set up tents or anything else. My chat box is not updating when it should. Know what's going on with it. Refresh it, maybe it'll do something. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the name of them was, Bloomin'. Well, thank you, Stevie. You got 5 barnyard kittens looking at the back door looking for dinner. Well, you better go feed them. Well, I have 1 glass measuring cup, and it's a 1 cup size, and then I've got 3 other that's plastic. One is a 1 cup, one's a 2 cup, and one's a 4 cup. So those are the ones I've been using. And there's just me, Billy Jean. Look there. I was speaking of the devil, and he should appear. I was telling him about your measuring cups that you were telling everybody about last night. Uncle BB Munson, hello to you. True, Kimberly. True. So true. Yep. That's a pretty good deal. I looked on the website, Adam. They're going for pretty good prices. You can get the smaller one. I think there was 3 sizes that was on sale, like a 1 cup, 2 cup, and there might have been a 1.5 cup. I don't know. Or maybe it was a 4 cup. I mean, it's like half the price that they normally are. Oh no, Bloomin'. Well, I had a 9 by 13 glass Pyrex baking dish, and when my kids were at home, that's what I always used to make my lasagna in. And I broke it, and I kept saying, well, I really don't need a pan that big now because I don't cook that much lasagna at one time. I use a pan that's like almost half that size. So I never have replaced it. Really no need to. Mom used to make iced tea in 4 cup when we were sick. And there's Teresa Jones, Linda, and all. You should be getting your prizes pretty soon, Teresa. I mailed them out Monday. Yeah, I try to cut most of my recipes in half when I do my videos because I don't need that much food here, you know. You've already ordered replacement for your 8x8. Yeah, I've got an 8x8 one that I use quite often. But I really don't have any need for the 9 by 13, the big one. I think it was a 9 by 13. Isn't that the biggest you get? It was the big one. Whatever size that was. I think it was 9 by 13. You needed it. Teresa said she fell asleep, woke up, and you're here. Oh, I bet she was, Uncle BB. You broke your mom's Corningware roaster. I had one of those blue enamel type roaster pans, the old timey looking ones that had the lid. You know, the lid was about that deep. And mine was the small one. It was just big enough to put a whole chicken in. And I roasted my chicken in that all the time when I fixed the chicken in the oven to roast it. It came out so good. And I don't know what happened to that roasting pan. It just disappeared. I guess when I moved somewhere in North Carolina, maybe when my first husband and I were separated or something and I moved, the pan disappeared. I never have seen it since. I don't know who ended up with it. A lot of my stuff disappeared. I don't know where it went. That I've never replaced. I used to years ago when my kids were little and lived at home, and I did a lot more cooking. But like I said, I don't make anything today that I need a 9 by 13 inch pan. And if I do, I've got a metal 9 by 13 pan that I can put in my regular oven, not in the microwave, but I can put it in the regular oven and cook. So I don't really need to buy another one. I wouldn't use it enough to pay for buying it. Yeah, Corningware is really good. I have no idea. You'll have to ask Billie Jean about that. Yeah, they're kind of a granite blue. Cooks good. It's cold where you're at, Billie Jean. It's only 56 degrees for a high here today. I first got up this morning, it was like 51. It was pretty chilly. I turned my AC off and I turned my heater on. But that's Texas for you. If you don't like the weather today, just wait. It's going to change. It'll cool off for a day or two, and then it'll be back up hot again. The heat will come back with a vengeance. I don't know, Billie Jean, are you still in the live? Are you doing a live today with your mom? Uncle BB said my mom's granite toaster roaster is in my oven. What are you cooking? I'm unsure. Till the sun goes down. I wasn't sure what time I was going to go live today, but I had messaged Gladys and I told her I was going to go live sometime today. I just didn't know what time. I had things to do around here. And then I went in, took a shower, shampooed my hair, and thought about it a little bit, ate me some lunch, and then decided, well, I think I'm going to go live. So I went ahead and scheduled it like a half hour before I actually went live. So I said, hopefully I'd get a few people in here. Uncle BB said she had a smaller Corning roaster which survived. Say the same about the weather in Arkansas. Well, you're so close, you know. We're neighboring states, so. I hate that I got to suck on a cough drop to be able to talk to people. You're sitting there with your mom eating a late lunch, been working on the computer backdrops and stuff all morning. I haven't tried the computer backdrops yet. Never even thought about them. Yeah, but you know, I built part of my cabinets. I've only got a cabinet over here beside the refrigerator. I got this closet behind me, which used to be a coat closet that shelves were put in, and I've got pots and pans and food items. storage bowls and that type of thing in. And then, of course, I've got cabinets over the stove that's got dishes and stuff in. My cabinet above my sink has glasses in it. And I basically don't have any room under the sink because of the way that everything is built back under there. But I have a little bit of room, not much. But the hutch that is in my kitchen and the other cabinet beside the freezer, I built both of those myself, and I did videos on them. Oh, I see you store your roaster in the oven. You don't have anything in it. I did that sometimes with my cast iron pan, frying pan. I'll just stick it in the oven after I clean it, leave it there till I get ready to bake something, then I take it out. Oh, I tell you, with my back and neck injury, it's getting me so there's a lot I can't do anymore. It keeps telling me that I don't need to be mowing the yard anymore. I used to could mow my yard, the whole yard, and not even take a break. And then it got so I was mowing half of it and taking a break. And now I have to take 5 or 6 breaks to mow the whole yard. And then it bothers me real bad. So I don't think I'm probably going to just get somebody to mow it for me from now on. I'm not going to keep pushing my luck. Well, you know, in these older mobile homes, they don't give you very much cabinet space. And your cabinets are not that big either. I've got 2 sets of dishes over the stove in that cabinet because I don't have any exhaust fan going up through the roof. It goes out the side. So I've got 2 sets of dishes, complete sets, above the stove. I've got a set on each shelf. There's 2, the bottom shelf and the top. And then I've got bowls, serving bowls and stuff like that up there. And that is all I could get in that cabinet. Oh, wow. I saw that you're doing something with fragrances, Billie Jean. Just running my YouTube channel the way I've been doing keeps me busy. Plus my yard work, my housework, everything else. I don't think I could handle adding anything to it. You'd go bankrupt buying all the different color yarn to... Well, I figure as much yarn as I bought to do my queen size crocheted spread that's on my bed, I've probably got $200 or more in yarn alone that I bought at Walmart to do that spread. Plus the many, many hours it took to do it. You don't eat Kentucky chicken anymore after what they were doing. What were they doing? I've not heard anything about Kentucky chicken. What were they doing, Edith? Well, it's got 3 bedrooms. I raised my 2 kids here. My son had the smaller bedroom back here. My daughter had the in bedroom with its own bath because that was usually the master bedroom. And I let my daughter have it because it had the half bath in there. And I took the bedroom in the other end of the house. And whenever my daughter moved out, my son says, well, Mom, can I have the other bedroom? It's bigger than mine. I said, sure. I said, I don't care. Move in there. So then it was his bedroom. And then when they both moved out, I fixed it back kind of the way it was when they were both living here. I put the yellow bedspread with the curtains in the room, that in bedroom that my daughter had, and I put the Star Wars bedspread and pillows and all that back on the bed that my son had. I said, why not? Do not eat Kentucky chicken. The vulgarity in your chat. I don't know what you're talking about, Edith. Something about the vulgarity in my chat? I'm not understanding it at all, Edith. Yeah, good memories here. It was small. This house was small to raise 2 kids in, but it has 3 bedrooms. The bedrooms are not more than a closet, but they had beds, a closet, a nightstand. They were big enough, I guess. Kentucky chicken used to come in your chat. Oh, you're talking about the person, the Kentucky chicken person that came in using bad language. Oh, I understand now. Yeah, they had nothing to do with KFC, though. They were just using the name. Just like we had Taco Bell and people using the other chain's name. They were just using their names. They didn't have anything to do with them. Don't hold it against Kentucky. Oh, you thought it had something to do with chicken. I first thought that too because I didn't understand it. But then when she mentioned it was somebody that used to come in my chat, then I remembered. We had a lot of subscribers that came in that were using McDonald's name. They were using Taco Bell, KFC's name. And they were always leaving really bad comments to the point I had to start blocking them. And that's what Edith was talking about. Had nothing to do with chicken itself. Yep, they were trolls. They used very bad language and made really bad comments. Haven't had much of that lately. Of course, I haven't been scheduling much for them to come in. That's one reason I've done that, is because that's a way to get rid of a lot of the trolls. If they don't know you're going live, they don't plan to be there. I don't have any secrets. I got cough drops. I got Luden's cough drops. I haven't used the AI yet. I haven't even checked into AI. I don't know what you can do and can't do with it. Oh, I know. They get really bad, Billie Jean. And I've got somebody that comes in my comments to my videos sometimes talking about my hair. They say, why don't you cut your hair off? You're too old to have long hair. What has my age got to do with my hair? I grew up with the older women are the ones that had the longest hair because they had it pulled up in a bun all the time. Just because you get older doesn't mean you got to have your hair cut off. Yeah, my mom used to always wear her hair in a bun, and she was a young woman. It always looked great. But you know how the older women that you see in a lot of these videos, they don't even put it up in a bun thing. I don't know what they call them, a wrap. The way I do mine is I pull it up like I'm going to put it in a ponytail. I twist it around, and then I wrap it around, and I pull the end of it through the center, and it's in a bun. And that's the way I've seen a lot of older women do it growing up. So to me, it's nothing for an older woman to have long hair. They take their hair down, and their hair is longer, way down past their waist. So why is it some people think because you're older in years that you've got to have short hair? Who wrote that rule? Well, good for you, Kimberly. I mean, I've always worn my hair long, and every once in a while through the years, I get tired of it being long, so I cut it short, and then it grows completely back out again, and I'll leave it long until I get tired of it, and then I'll cut it short again. But my hair has not been short in so long, I don't even know what it would look like. I mean, my hair was its shortest back when I was diagnosed with cancer back in, what year was it? I don't remember. So many 20 some odd years ago. It was kind of short then, but it was still a woman style. It was not like a man cut. It was just a short, curly, wavy hair. And after that, I lost all my hair, and then only half of it came back. And I've basically worn it long ever since. Because I can put it up so easy when I'm out in the yard working in the garden and it gets hot and I'm sweaty. It's so easy to pull my hair up and twist it up. And my son said, just tighten the knot. And that's what I did. He couldn't believe how easy it was to put it up. I said, that's why I don't mind it being long. Because I get out in the yard and I start doing yard work and garden work, and I get hot and I want my hair up off of my neck. I just pull it up and tie it up. Yeah, the older women years ago did that because they didn't want to go to the beauty shop every month and get your hair trimmed. They didn't go to the beauty shop every week and get their hair done. And I don't want to do that either. Exactly, Linda, 3853. Yeah, I said I didn't know there was a rule that the older you got, the shorter your hair had to get. One reason it's down. If I was up busy doing anything, my hair'd be pulled up. But I usually try to leave it down until it gets completely dry. How about a 1962 flip with side bangs? I don't think so. I've never been able to wear bangs, Uncle BB, because my hair is curly. My bangs always flipped out or curled up. And Gladys is eating another piece of birthday cake. Well, eat a piece for me, Gladys. When I first got out of college, my hair was the longest then it's ever been. And it was way down past my waist. Because I got a job in Fort Worth at Al Tiller and Associates. And when my hair was down, when I'd first get to work in the morning, it was because it was wet. And the first thing I did when I got in the office was put it up, usually in a bun, because I didn't need a clip or anything to get it up. And one of the workers had looked out the window, and I could hear them talking. And they said, "Who is that getting out of that car? We don't have anybody working here with hair that long." That's because I had never seen it down. Because the minute I got in the office, my hair went up. Or most of the time before I even got to work, my hair went up. But I was late with it that morning. I didn't get it dried, and I think it was still a little bit damp when I did get it put up. And there's Betty Blue. And Catherine, welcome. I sometimes think people just make comments because they're jealous. They don't want you to have something they don't have. If their hair's short, they want yours short. How about braids? Well, I used to wear braids on both sides. My mom used to braid them for me all the time. But since I don't usually have anybody to braid my hair, I don't wear it in braids anymore. I used to wear it in a French braid because I learned how to do that myself, and it looked pretty good, but I haven't even done that in a long time. Just like some people have made the comment to me, "Why are you coloring your hair? Why don't you just let it go naturally gray and grow old gracefully?" You know what the comment to them was I made? I said, "Look, I'm growing old as gracefully as I know how." Thank you very much. But there's a lot of women today that don't let their hair go gray. They color it. And that's their right to do that. If they don't want to, and mine has been gray at one time, several times. Like after I first got over all that chemo and my hair grew back, my hair was completely white. It was fluorescent white when my hair first started growing out. And then finally it come back in kind of salt and peppered. And it straightened out a little bit because it was fried. Well, good, Betty Blue. And I have thought about letting mine go back gray. But the growing out process just, I start seeing the white streak down my head and I can't deal with it, so I got to color it. I bought it's this stuff, I can't remember the name of it, that you put on your hair if you color it, and it takes all the color out that you put on. And it didn't completely get it out. It turned it a blondish color, kind of a blondish gray, and I didn't like it, so I colored it. I think I did one video after the color was lighter, and then I couldn't deal with it, and I went ahead and colored it again. One day, maybe. Well, I can tell by what grows out. There is some dark hair. It's like a pepper, salt and pepper gray. And the back is a little bit darker than the top. And it would look good, I think, because I did have it cut short. And the top was more gray than the back. And it looked pretty good. And I cut it myself. I did my hair myself. I didn't go to the beauty shop. And it always looked good. In fact, it looked good, better after I slept on it than it did when I first did it, because it straightened out more when I slept on my hair. If that makes any sense. Well, my mom used to color her hair. And that was back before they came out with the permanent hair color. She'd use the Clairol hair color, but it was the kind that washed out. I mean, she'd dye it, and then after she shampooed her hair maybe 3 times, it all washed out, and she was redoing it. And I told her one time later, I said, Mom, they come out with permanent hair color now. You have to let it grow out. It don't wash out anymore. But she had let her hair go gray, and it had been gray for so long, she didn't want to start dyeing it again. I've been blonde before. I've got photographs that I was blonde. And I thought about, well, I can keep going lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until it finally gets to almost a platinum blonde, which is the next step is gray, and see what happens. I don't know. Yeah, I told a friend of mine, I said I could let my hair grow out and be naturally gray and salt and peppered or whatever it's going to be, but I can't handle the skunk look with the white streak. Kimberly's a 5 generations Pentecostal. Well, thank you, Betty Blue. Oh my goodness, I just noticed the time. We've been on here for 2 hours. Time sure flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And I've been having fun in this live. Maybe because I felt better, I don't know. I was kind of lazy yesterday. I didn't get a whole lot done. I did get my bathroom cleaned a little. I don't know that I did anything outside. I know, I did that too, Mary. My mom would catch rainwater and then she'd tell me to shampoo my hair in it. And she'd do the same thing because it was so much better for your hair. Now people have to use all this chemically treated water to bathe in, to shampoo their hair in, and it just dries the skin out. They said they thought everybody that shampooed their hair with this chemically treated water ended up with dry skin. And I didn't have dry skin like this before. When I lived in North Carolina, I didn't even use city water. We used well water. And it had a lot of rust in it, but it's still better for your hair and your body than chemically treated water. Yeah, it's kind of gloomy here too. It's been rainy off and on all day and cloudy. Well, like I said, we've been on here for 2 hours. I hate to end the party. Lucky's doing good. He's asleep right now. He's curled up in the chair in the living room asleep. It was rainy and wet outside. It was cool outside. So he decided he wanted to come back in. Okay, I will, Betty Blue. I don't know, Uncle BB. I've been both and I can't tell the difference. In fact, people used to tease me about being a blonde. When my hair was blonde, I bleached it out. And I'd laugh at them and say, well, hey, that's not true about me because I'm just a camouflage brunette. Okay, Betty Blue. Thank y'all for coming into the live to wish everybody a happy birthday. Y'all take care. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.